Alright, so I don't know about y'all, but Super Mario Sunshine is legit one of my favorite games of all time. And as a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet if you ask anyone with a GameCube, they'll tell you that it's peak. Hold the landfall. And Nintendo? Y'all had the nerve to drop this half-ass port for 60 bucks and then dip. Nah bro, y'all are criminals. So, since I ain't got that type of bread, I decided I'm gonna make it an Unreal Engine. Pray for me. First off, Mario's gotta move like Mario, so I had to do the triple jump. So for the triple jump, all we're checking to see is if we're moving on the ground. We're setting this just for animation wise. It doesn't really do much when it comes to the code, so you don't have to use this if you don't want to. Which realistically I should just take it off because I'm not using any animations. We add 1 to the jump count, and for the jump count we just set different launch character velocities. For the first one is 600, second one is 800, last one is 1000. And after the last jump we just set the jump count back to 0. And this is how it looks like. We got 1, 2, 3. And yeah, it works. And to be honest, it's probably what this motherfucker Blake Griffin had in his prime. Like, no way he was just putting his hand to the back of dudes' heads while his nuts were in their face. I'd have to equip the 9mm nozzle if he ever did some shit like that to me, but hey, we move on. And then we got the wall jump. I ain't gonna lie, I had made it, but that shit was actually hard as fuck to do inside of the actual game, so I deleted it and thought it over, and the mind chip that my government implanted in me sent a signal to YouTube, because after I took that short break, this popped up in my feed. And who am I to deny this signal? So, I copied it. So I'm not going to bother going over the code. Check out Unreal University, and honestly the actual code for the wall jump isn't that long, so it's quick to make. But next, we have the ground pound. For the ground pound, it was just super simple. All we're checking to see is if we're on the ground, just from the jump boolean. If we aren't, obviously we want to set it to we are on the ground. An animation would go here if you want to use an animation, but again, I'm not doing that. And I just set the gravity scale up. And now I could have made it so that it pushes anything around the capture component with an add impulse. But that's pretty much all you have to make. And it's kind of hard to see, but if I use the triple jump, you can see that I will fall quicker. And ground pound. Pause, by the way. Now, while slamming your ass on the ground is crazy, but let's be honest, this zesty ass mechanic came in clutch too many times to complain about it, so we move on. Now, onto the real shit. The FLUDD. Without FLUDD, Mario's just a bitch ass plumber. Like, I know y'all remember those fucking levels where they would take that shit away from you. These shits had me tweaking, cause it's like if Mario just forgot how he'd been moving this whole fucking time. But anyways, for the first nozzle, we got the squirt nozzle. And I ain't talking about that type of squirting, you freaky ass motherfuckers. So, to start off for the squirt nozzle, all we're doing is taking away a water amount while we're clicking and holding. I used the little particle system just because, well, I just wanted to. We set up a line trace, we check if it could be cleaned, which you will see in a bit. And I'm casting it to the different types of blueprints that I am using. For the goop, you'll see it in a second, but all we're doing is just making it fade away. Which, let me actually show you this real quick. So, this is just an actor component that I set up. I use this for the mesh, which you could just find it online. It's pretty easy to set up. And all we're doing is just setting up a timeline, and we set a scalar parameter in the material, the name opacity, and we're just making it go from 1 to 0. And as for the gooble, which by the way is the name of the little slime things that you can see right here on the screen. I did not know that was their name, but hey. So for that, all we're doing is just taking away the health. We set the material to red while he's taking damage, and once the health is equal to 0, we just destroy the actor. So let me go ahead and show you first how it works for the cleaning. Damn. And yeah, that's how the cleaning part works. Next is the hover nozzle. Now for the hover nozzle, originally I was using the launch character to just slightly launch myself every time that I'm holding down the mouse button, and it was working okay, but I decided to take some inspiration from that wall jump code, and so I'm using the V enter to constant and then just decreasing the water amount. Now one thing that I couldn't actually figure out was how to keep the player moving, because oh whoops, that's the wrong nozzle. So as you can see, I am slightly hovering, which is how it is in the game. Let me restart it so that way I have my full water amount. But for some reason, I can't get the player to move. And I know it's because of the fact that we're only targeting to go up by 20. but I just couldn't figure out how to move it. So if you have any recommendations, let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. But yeah, that's the way that I made the hover nozzle. Now I'm pretty sure for all of us, this thing carried our ass in the game, and so I hope I did it well enough. Then we got the rocket nozzle. Now this one was pretty easy to make. All we're doing is just setting up a timeline for the counter. You can make it as long as you want. I just made it 2 seconds. And then we're just launching our character and subtracting a water amount from it. So we're gonna equip our rocket nozzle and we just charge it up. And yeah, that was pretty much it. And finally was the speed nozzle, which for the speed nozzle, as you could probably guess as well, it was pretty easy. All we are doing is subtracting a water amount and setting the walking speed to a really fast speed. And this shit pretty much turns Mario into a fucking Ferrari. You hold it down and suddenly he's going 90 in a school zone. So yeah, that is how I made Super Mario Sunshine's mechanics. To be honest, I kinda wanted to remake that very first mission when you first land on the airstrip, but it was just too hard getting all the assets to work. But I think for the most part it came out well enough. And even though it's not perfect, at the end of the day, I'm just here to give you the skeleton, you add the meat. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, found it useful, leave a like and subscribe. If you got any other game mechanics that you want to see, leave it in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.